Feelings is such an interesting topic, and especially for men, because what do you do with your feelings? What do you do with your emotions? Last weekend, I had a group session with a group of men, and this topic came up strongly of feeling your feelings, processing your emotions, and also how do you navigate such complex topics in life. And if you are a guy watching this, and even a girl, I'm curious to hear your perspective on feeling your feelings as a man and processing these emotions. And how do these topics relate to the topic of masculinity? Because there are so many perspectives out there and opinions on the topic of feelings related to masculinity. So I'll give some perspectives as well in this video, but to come back to that group session, because this ignited this whole topic for me again. We were halfway in the group session, and we were also reflecting, or the men were reflecting on a question, because we were going to shift into a different direction. And there was one man that raised his hand with a question. And he was already leading from such a powerful place, because most people and most men only raise their hand when they have all the answers, when they have all the clarity, and then they speak. But he raised his hand and said, I feel there's something here into this direction. I feel there's something important, but I'm not able to catch it. So this is where he was leading without having all the answers, and let's create clarity as we go. Action breeds clarity. So I navigated and guided him towards his deeper truths that were present for him. And this is where, within a few minutes, he connected to a significant life event that was happening right now in his life. And he felt emotions coming up. So when he was even expressing that, I feel a rush of emotions coming up, when he was talking this through, he even got emotional because it became more intense. And that's when he started to talk and talk and talk about all that was happening in his life. Because there was a lot of things happening. Like he is working, he has a beautiful position in the company that he works at, and he's working for a promotion. He has a family, he's married, a family of 4 kids, and he's training for a triathlon. So he's working on beautiful projects, and there's an illness in the family. There's a significant thing happening with one of his kids that is shifting a lot of things of how things are happening throughout the week and within the family. So what is happening is a lot of people are looking at him because he is steering the ship. He is leading the way. And he is carrying all that responsibility. He is holding space for everyone. For the parents that are there, for his kids, for his partner. Because the emotions are heightened, and he wants to stay strong, and he wants to stay grounded. And what he was sharing in that moment was how hard this was, of carrying all that responsibility and holding space for everyone. And when he was talking, he felt that I didn't create space for myself to even acknowledge what I'm feeling. I didn't even know that all of these situations felt so heavy for me. And we were not trying to get to a solution, because this was purely for him to process. We were holding space for him. And in that moment as well, he could see how he was creating this layer of tenseness and pressure on top of everything that was happening, because he thought, I have to be someone for my family, for my kids, for the parents. I have to be this strong version and this strong leader. So he felt even more tense of how he needed to show up. And this is where he connected to a deeper truth, as in, I don't need to be anyone. I just need to be me, because that version is already strong enough to carry all of this responsibility and to lead the way. So by processing things and by talking things through, he also accessed deeper truths. And eventually he felt freedom. There was this release and this peace. So the heaviness was gone, even though nothing has changed about the circumstances. But he was able to process. Now the thing is, initially he wasn't even aware that he was feeling this. So just because he was in this group session with us, he had the space to actually feel, what am I feeling? What emotions are present inside of me? How am I experiencing life at the moment? Because are you aware? Are you aware of what you're feeling on a day-to-day basis? What emotions come up in certain moments? Are you aware of what your experience of life is overall? Because I get this question often from men, like, how do you even feel your feelings? This was something that I struggled so much with in my life. Just give me the steps on how to feel my feelings, because I don't know how to feel my feelings. I don't know how to process emotions. And so this was a starting point for him. We never have experienced this space to actually process what is going on underneath the surface. So this is the first step in itself. We are not even aware of the heaviness that we experience, of all the responsibility that we're carrying. We have so much tension even in our muscles, but it has become our standard. Like, oh, this is normal. This is what life feels like. So we are not even aware of how tense we are and what we are carrying because we haven't processed it. We haven't acknowledged it. So this is where there are different perspectives when it comes to feeling your feelings as a man and processing emotions as a man, because you have the camp of the hustle, the grind, the discipline side of things, and they will say things like, fuck your feelings, put your head down and do the work, which of course has a lot of truth in it, but it's also very dangerous, because of course you don't want to have your feelings dictate what you do and don't do in your life, because then you would never take any action, because you let fear dictate your decisions. But at the same time, you don't want to repress your feelings, because this in itself is also dangerous. So you can already see, like, oof, there are so many nuances in this, because you don't want to just feel your feelings and let your decisions be based on what you're feeling, because if you're tired, then you don't go to the gym. When you feel fear, you don't take this action, because then you wouldn't accomplish anything in life, if that's the case. So you want to feel your feelings, and this is where I would say you want to acknowledge your feelings. You want to acknowledge that they are there and make a strong decision moving forward. So this is what he was doing in the session, because when men hear these topics of processing feelings and talking out loud, it's like, I don't want to be a victim, I don't want to be complaining, I don't want to be doing this. Like, this is often what they will think when they think about processing feelings and talking about it. But the way that, for example, coming back to that group session, the way that he was processing his feelings was not like, oh, life is so hard and I don't know what to do, and oh, it's not about a victim place. It was acknowledging that the feelings are present. You can do this from a grounded and strong place. Like, life is fucking hard right now. Like, I am struggling. Like, I feel so much sadness related to the situation. Sometimes I don't know how to lead the situation. And you can say this from a strong and grounded place, as in, this is what I'm experiencing and this is how I decide to move forward, instead of just being a victim, like, oh, this is all happening to me. So it also depends on what is the place that you're processing from. Are you doing it from a victim place, or are you doing it from a strong and grounded place where you simply acknowledge the feelings? Because if you don't process these feelings, like with his example, he didn't even know how heavy life was. So just imagine, and this is where I believe you can't see what you can't see. You don't know what you don't know. So if you think you are experiencing this level in life, like, I'm experiencing 100% of my energy and vibrancy and aliveness in my life, like, you don't know what you don't know. You can't see what you can see. What you can see, you are carrying as well all these unprocessed emotions that are limiting your experience in life. You can experience 10 times as much energy if you want, and aliveness and vibrancy. But this is where we have to also come to terms with, like, this is not the top, the pinnacle of what I'm experiencing, and I can't see what I can see. You always need to be open to, how can I expand in life? When we are looking at life in general, we're here to have a good time, right? You want to experience fun and joy and vibrancy and love and gratitude. Why do you want to experience this heaviness with the hustle and grind side of things? Like, fuck my feelings and just repress everything. Like, we're here to experience life. We're just not here to do things. Like, I want to feel life. I want to feel the love. I want to feel connection. But it also means, and this is what was very scary for me in my life, if I want to feel my feelings, that means I need to feel the whole spectrum. I can't just choose, okay, I'm just going to experience more love and joy in life. You also need to experience the other side. You need both ends. You need contrast in life to experience both sides. You can't just experience freedom. You need to experience how stuck you are. You need to experience the presence in life to be able to experience the freedom on the other side. You need to experience all the sadness and all the shame and all the embarrassment and all the fear, for on the other side to experience also the release. So this is the scary part when it comes to feeling your feelings, because you also need to experience all the uncomfortable feelings. And this is what people don't want to look at. This is too confrontational. This is too scary. So they limit their ability to experience life. So they just keep everything in this small spectrum. So they only experience this small. If we are talking about a pendulum in life, they just experience this small little thing where everything is safe, where everything is neutral, and they will say that, yes, I'm having fun, or yes, I experience love, or yes, I love you, but they don't feel it because they haven't experienced the full spectrum. So once the pendulum swings stronger to the other side, when it comes to fear, shame, embarrassment, sadness, whatever the emotions are, it will also swing stronger to the other side. So this is also how you deepen your connection in life. Feel everything, process everything. If you want to cry, you cry, because it's a release of your body. If you need to shake or anything, it's a release. You need these releases in life for you to also feel at peace in your body. So I believe as a man, it is essential to feel your feelings, because we are living in a society where men that feel their feelings, or men that feel all these emotions, they are weak. But I believe men that repress emotions and feelings, they are dangerous, because they are out of control in life. They think they are controlling all of these actions because I don't let my feelings dictate what I do and don't do. Maybe, but you are reacting to all these unprocessed emotions. You are constantly reacting to them. If you haven't gone into the shadows of your psyche as oneself, I believe you're not a strong leader. I believe this is a dangerous place to lead from. If you haven't gone deep within your shadows, and looked at also all the ugly sides of things, the things and the places and the corners that you do not want to look at, the things that you've repressed very deep down. Because I want, and this is my vision on life when it comes to leadership. I want more leaders there to be leading from a place of love. I want there to be more leaders that are in harmony, that are able to create powerfully in the external world, that have mastered the external creation, but at the same time that have also created this internal mastery, that are leading from this place of love, and that you can only access this by going deep within, by seeing what is going underneath the surface. Where are all these feelings coming from and these thoughts coming from? Why am I triggered right now? Why am I angry? Because if you don't look underneath the anger itself or the trigger itself, then it will always have control over you. If you are triggered by someone, or you're angry at someone when something happens, and you're just like, oh, fuck my feelings, and you just repress it, and you don't look at it, this trigger is still there. It's not going anywhere. Just because you don't look at it doesn't mean it's gone. It's like a little kid that is playing hide and seek, and they close their eyes, and they think, no one can see me right now. Like, just because you repress your feelings doesn't mean that they're gone. They're still there. They're still running you from underneath the surface, but you're just not aware of it. You're still reacting to them. They're still a trigger. They're still running your life, but you're just not aware of it. And that's why I believe if you want to become fully in control, and I don't necessarily like the word control, but let's just, maybe ownership is a better word. If you want to be the owner of your life and your existence, you need to become aware of where these feelings are coming from when you are triggered. And you need to process these as well. Because this is where you create also separation from the feelings and the experience and the emotions and who you are. Because I don't believe you are your feelings. I believe you are observing your feelings. But for most people, they get these things entangled. They believe they are their feelings because they have never ever created the space for themselves to process this. So that's why I highly recommend to seek out people. Seek out people, professionals, seek out groups where you can also process these things. Because one thing is, of course, creating space and stillness for yourself in your life to actually ask the question, what do I feel right now? And this is, in a lot of cases, most men don't even do this. But that's why I think it's even more beneficial to be in conversation with someone. Because that's when there is no escape when it comes to these feelings. And it's very uncomfortable, but also necessary. And I am so passionate about this topic of feelings in general, because it has been so complex, like I said in the beginning, for me to also to navigate this, because we can make it more nuanced, as in, when is your intuition talking to you? When is there a gut feeling? And when is there just a feeling? Like an emotion that's present. Like, there's a difference in feeling emotions and feeling your body. Maybe there's also a connection. So how do you distinguish these two? And that's why, like I said, it's so complex to navigate. Because how do you distinguish intuition from feelings? Because I want to listen to like this deeper knowing. Whenever a download comes to me, whenever my heart is speaking to me, I want to follow my heart. But how do I know that the feeling is coming from my heart? Like, good luck distinguishing all of this in the chaos of life as well. So you have, of course, the chaos externally, but also internally. So And this is just very quickly, because this can become a very long video when I even go deeper into this topic. But this is how I navigate intuition and feelings. I see whenever I receive an insight and a feeling from a place of stillness and from a place of peace and freedom, I know it's coming from a deeper layer. So then we can talk about your intuition, the universe, God, your soul. So this depends, the language that you use depends on the beliefs that you have. But whenever it comes from this place of stillness, from peace, so that's why people create these insights when they are in the shower, for example, and they get this download. That's when I know I want to take the feeling very serious and I want to trust it and follow it. So this is also how I committed to daily YouTube videos, because it came from it actually came to me in the shower. I was just in the shower and think, what would it be like if I would start creating daily YouTube videos? And it was like, poof, I just felt in my body like, oof, that would be awesome if I would commit to that. And that's how I followed that feeling. But there are a lot of cases as well where a feeling maybe acts like your intuition, but it's actually coming from a place of fear. Whenever you feel tension with the thought or with the feeling, whenever you feel some kind of pressure, whenever there's fear present, you already know it's not coming from this deeper layer. It's often coming from the mind, it's coming from the ego, it's trying to protect you. So this is already how you know whenever you feel tired and you think like, I shouldn't be going to the gym. Like, is this coming from a deep, deep layer? Like a deep layer could also be, well, maybe you need some more rest. That could be possible. And this is why it's so challenging to navigate. When do you take your feelings seriously? When do you listen to it? And this is why also you have to feel it consistently. You have to process all the emotions consistently, because this is also how you create a self-mastery, where you are able to distinguish where the feelings are coming from. Is it just a creation from my ego to protect me because I'm afraid of something? Or is this coming from a deeper truth and something that I really want to follow? And this is how you start to lead, what I believe, lead from a place of love. Because you are able to distinguish where the feelings are coming from and when you are, and what kind of leadership you want to be and what you want to be portraying as a leader. So this is, I know this is way longer than expected, this video, but I'm going to make more videos about this feelings topic, because when it came up in the session, I loved it so much. Like, I think this is such an important topic for men, because it is also just not talked about. Whenever I talk to a man in a coaching session, it's always about the business, the finances, all of this stuff. And eventually we always start working with their relationships, their fulfillment and meaning in life, their freedom. It's always related to these topics. So yeah, let me know if you got to this part as well in the video. Let me know your opinion on feeling feelings, processing emotions related to the topic of masculinity, because I always love to hear different perspectives. So that's it.